Okay, everybody, we're live. Apologies for the disconnection. My phone just totally overheated, and we lost the whole live stream, unfortunately. So it's a scorcher today. It's really hot. The plants have been suffering, and apparently my phone's been suffering quite a bit too, and did not want to cooperate. So apologies for that. We're gonna see if we can get an umbrella next time so that we can keep a recording of the live stream in a shaded area, because we don't want any more phones crashing and ending the live stream due to overheating. So
oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. You didn't get me.
Okay.
But here's what we did, for those of you who missed it. So this bed, what we did right here is we sowed a cocktail of worm seeds and cover crop seeds. We treated the bed with a mixture of worm tea and crop inoculant. Then we treated and sowed the seeds with worm tea, inoculant. Then we covered up with soil and treated that as well. And then we covered with straw mulch. The straw mulch is going to help retain moisture as the seeds germinate, because it's really important for these seeds to have consistent moisture as they germinate. Otherwise, their germination will fail. And pretty soon, this bed will be full of foliage, and we'll have a nice cover crop coming up that'll get very large and will attract lots of pollinators and beneficial insects, will stimulate microbes in the soil, and will improve the quality, structure, and fertility of the soil in general. And it's going to be beautiful. This mix is full of flowers. We even threw some edible seeds in there, just so we could go in and pick some edible plants while the cover crop is growing. So it's going to be fantastic and a nice addition to our garden for this year. So that's how we start our cover crops. Now we're going to talk about how we're going to terminate or kill our cover crops, because we have a mix of cover crops that has outlived its lifespan for us. We need to get our seedlings into this bed, so therefore we need to terminate it. So the idea is, over here, I'm going to see if I can keep this in the shade. This bed right here is the one we're going to terminate today. And so here's the game plan, Brianna. So we're going to cut the parts off with the shears that are like sticking out quite a bit, and get the height over the whole bed to be roughly like this. And then we're going to crimp them down with the action hoe that I brought. I'll show you how to do that, but the first thing we got to do is we just got to get the shears and like trim all this extra stuff off. It's a shame we got to terminate these now, because as I said before the video crashed, we could let these go a little bit longer if we wanted to. We're going to let the other ones that we have go a bit longer, but we need to get rid of these now because we have seedlings that are ready to go in, and we don't want the seedlings to start declining in health as we wait for the cover crop to finish. So we're going to get this going. Okay. Yeah, why don't you bring the red tub over here. We're going to use that to store our trimmings from it, and then we're gonna lay everything on top that we took off to create a nice mulch layer on top, and then we're gonna cover it up with some wood chips.
Sounds good.
So I'll go get the shears. You guys can go ahead and admire the beauty of the cover crop really quick as I go get the shears.
Sorry about the live ending. That was really unfortunate.
Whoa. Yeah, we gotta make sure that's in the shade. So we'll go through and talk about what's in here really quick. Hoping that my phone does not overheat again. Also, now that we're in good shape, there was a question about hydroponics, wasn't there, Brianna? Yeah, that would be great. We'll all talk about that. So this is what we're going to be terminating. Oh man, it's hot. It's humid today too. We've got some hairy vetch in there, Austrian field peas. Just look at all the life in here. This is why you plant a cover crop. It brings life to your garden in many ways. So we got some brassicas. The grass you see in there is winter wheat. Look at that little guy. What do they call these guys again? I don't remember what they are, but they're like it's like a type of moth. They're pollinators. Yeah, in a minute, let's get that back. Let's get this back over here in the shade. I want to keep this as shaded as possible, hoping it does not overheat again. All right. Yes, what is the question?
So this was a question that was on a comment. Do you need a lot of space to get started? Can you have a small hydroponic setup if you live in an apartment or place with limited space?
Absolutely. You can have a hydroponic system that you can carry in your two hands. There really is no limit to how small you can make a system. I have grown plants hydroponically out of mason jars. It's called the Kratky method, Kratky. It's very easy. And you can design many types of hydroponic systems to fit any space, like a balcony, like your kitchen counter. I would recommend, if you have a balcony, try looking into a nutrient film technique, NFT, or Dutch bucket system. If you're growing indoors and you just have like a little area for it, try a deep water culture system. Check out our video on how to select a hydroponic system on the Maryland Magrum Center YouTube. That will give you details about how these systems function. So yeah, be sure to check that out, and hope that answers your question. We got to get to this now before the live stream ends. So let's just drop these off.
Okay, so chopping and then
Chopping and dropping. Chopping and crimping, then dropping.
so which part should I do? The crimping?
Do you think that you can help
Chopping?
chop somehow?
Because I've never done crimping before.
Admittedly, I've not either, but I understand the principle, so how to do it. And very important, leave the roots in the soil when you're terminating a cover crop.
Right. Well, I feel like my cord is not
Yeah, we need to get this off. Yeah, that would be great.
Is this the height it's supposed to be or shorter?
That's fine. Yeah, try not to take the roots out if you can help it.
Are these ready to harvest?
But we can.
Yellow.
Oh, they are ready. But we can check for nodulation. That's a good thing to do.
Nodules here.
All right, these plants are in the ground pretty tough. So the idea behind crimping is we're going to lay them flat and snap the stems like that with a special tool that I brought. This thing, it's called an action hoe. You normally use it like this to kind of like weed, but we're going to try and use it to crimp. And I think that works. If you go like that, slam it down, be sure to avoid the drip lines. That should crimp it pretty well.
Okay. So I'll do that.
Yeah, we might actually want to cut it a bit shorter.
Really quick, wanted
Yeah.
to show some radishes.
I need to get some water. I'm so thirsty.
These are baby radishes.
Scorching today.
Yeah, it's super hot. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we could, I know I have my class before this, like change the live time, I feel like, or to later or earlier, because it's gonna be hot.
Yeah, I would like to change the live time to earlier, to be honest.
I mean, I could do like 8:30.
I don't know about 8:30.
Well, definitely in the summer, it should be earlier. My class would be done.
You're taking summer school?
No, I'm not. finally I'll have a summer to myself where I don't have to do school.
Well, as good as it's gonna get. So we just want to crimp this down and try not to pull the roots up, but those roots do look healthy. One thing that we can do is we can check for what are called rhizosheaths on the roots.
Let's see, I don't even think so you just push it down?
We definitely have
basically?
lots of biology on these roots, that's for sure.
You just push
Yeah,
it
but you
down?
have to go harder.
Okay.
You have to make sure that you really like snap the stems. I would hold it like that.
So they don't come back up?
Yeah, so they don't come back up. So like that. You want to make sure that it's like snapped or severed. You see, like right there, that one is not, because that'll come back. Now it's stripped out, and you want to flatten
Should
it.
I try doing that with this?
Good luck. You really need this for that, and we want to make sure to avoid the drip lines.
Originally I thought we were gonna like pull it out.
Oh, no way. You don't want to do that.
Maybe explain why.
Because you want the roots to stay in the soil, and you want them to decompose while they're in the soil. Let's see. I want to see if we have some good rhizosheaths for me. Yeah, we're starting to get some. Yeah. You see how the roots stick to the soil like that? That's what you want. Or the soil sticks to the roots. It's called the rhizosheath. That's built with biology. That's built by the life in the soil. And that's where everything that makes plants healthy happens. Everything. Yeah, so we need to make sure everything is in the bed. And we're going to leave this, actually, for a little bit to make sure that it all dies.
So we're not planting nothing in here?
Not yet.
Those tomatoes, you want to plant those there?
The potatoes are going somewhere else.
I don't know if I'm helping or making it worse. If I'm making it worse, tell me.
Honestly, this is the only tool that's going to do it. Because it's the only tool that can get in there. Even this one can't like fully do it.
Tiring. Gardening can be
It can be
hard work,
Hard
but
work,
it's
yeah.
worth it.
no pain, no gain. But this will end up saving you work in the long run. And saving you money. It's a lot cheaper to get seeds than it is to maintain your beds, and it costs a lot less time to do cover crops in terms of labor than fertilizers. We're already going to be able to reduce our fertilizer use in this bed, thanks to these guys. It'll be reduced very substantially. That's not going to help. You have to like really put your weight into it to get down there, and either
Yeah, that has like a
snap or break the stem. Like that. And you have to be careful about the drip line. But look at this soil now. Now that's been under the cover crop. Look at that.
Whoa, that's way different.
So
That's a
this soil before this is degraded. Look at it now. It's incredible. It's well structured. It's got an amazing texture. It's perfect soil. This is like what cover crops do to your soil. They turn it into like the best soil ever.
Look at all those little, look at that little, what's it called? Little
Look, we're getting
things.
aggregation. Look at all these.
Yeah. Wow.
they normally use a special machine to do this called a roller crimper. That's like really strong and really heavy. It's attached to a tractor. That's how they do that on big farms. Yeah, look at this soil. It's so much better. Amazing benefits of cover crops. Changes everything. I'm gonna get some water. You gotta go harder than that. You gotta really, gotta crimp it. Yeah, and we're gonna come back and check. I'm gonna check tomorrow to see how they're going, and
I should have brought water because I did not bring water.
That's bad. We're gonna make sure everything's dying off before we plant, and just to be extra sure, we're gonna mulch over.
What can happen?
They can come back and they can stay alive, and then they're weeds. Sure. I'll do most of the exertion since you don't have one.
Yeah, I left my water bottle at David's bridal. So.
Oh God. We can walk on this too.
What if I step on it? Is that
You
bad?
can step on it. Helps. It'll help terminate it. One thing we gotta do is we wanna try and get them all like. One thing that other people can actually help with. One thing we could do is we can kind of comb them all in one direction. We comb them in that direction.
You know, this just needs to be the thumbnail.
Let's comb it in one direction.
Okay.
So that'll help us terminate it. But
Okay.
you could literally terminate these by repeatedly trampling on them. So
I think this is my favorite part.
And look at all this, it's free mulch now. That's what cover crops become when you terminate them, mulch. And as we do this, the soil underneath is not compacting because we're stepping on the plants, not the soil.
I didn't think the terminating could be like that.
I know, right?
That's funny.
Yeah, let's keep going. We're almost there.
How do you know when it's complete?
I want to do another once over. And we sowed this bed so densely, so it's actually harder to terminate.
Oh, versus someone doing it loosely?
Yeah. And these should terminate pretty nicely. These ones are next to the drip line, so I want to be careful. And these, you see that? How they're getting snapped like that?
Yeah.
That's exactly what we want. That's crimping.
And that's different than just cutting it at the base?
Yeah, I mean, this is better, honestly. Yeah, it allows the plants, because the plants are still alive when you crimp, but what happens is they just kind of die off slowly. And it doesn't send, I think it doesn't send like a signal to the roots to start sending out more shoots with certain plants, because certain plants will do that. But we're getting close.
It is 2 o'clock.
It's 2 o'clock. All right.
So maybe we can finish off.
We'll finish up later.
But
So that's the basic idea. It's hard because this is a raised bed and we have our drip tubing to worry about. But yeah, we have crimped these now and trampled them a bit, and that'll terminate them. Then we can mulch over once we verify that they're terminated and plant. Get some warm season plants in. We'll be doing that next week. That's the goal. Along with our hydroponic seed starting. The flyer that was posted this week was not correct. We were doing this today, not hydroponic seed starting. So that'll be next week. As always, if you have any questions, you can drop them in the chat during our live streams, or use the Ask a Master Gardener feature on our website.
Yes.
And we will get back to you with questions. Anyways, this concludes the live stream. Thank you for tuning in this week. Sorry we lost some of the footage from earlier when we sowed. When we sowed. But my phone did overheat. So we're going to figure out how to address that better in the future so we don't have that happen again. Because we want these live streams to be recorded and up for you all to see if you need to refer back to them. So anyways, thank you for tuning in this week. See you guys next week. Have a good one.